Welcome back to the Sort of Truth podcast, the alcohol-fueled, chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sort of Truth series with a puddle of craft brew on the side, much smaller than a river, and that's unfortunate. But hey,
a puddle could still be large. It could be a large puddle.
Could we say large puddle? I'm going to go with large puddle of craft brew on the side. That's better. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jade, and on this episode, we're getting into part two of Chapter 66.
That's right. If you guys listened to 66 part 1, you know that we said it's just a super long chapter, and so in an effort to get the episode out on time and give everything in the episode its due diligence, we split it up. And I think it worked.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, we're doing it. So.
Yeah, either way, we're doing it. It's an experiment.
Real quick, we just want to remind you guys one more time that the Children of Dahara novel is coming out on February 4th. You can pre-order it right now, and then on February 4th, you can go pick it up at Barnes & Noble, you can order it on Amazon, and you can get it at your favorite local bookstore.
That's right. And we hope you guys do, because if you finished it, you know it's an amazing book. And again, this is the last thing that Terry really gave to us. And the hardcover it looks really great, too. So, and of course, if you wanted a chance to win one instead of buying one, you can, because we're giving one away.
Yeah.
All you guys have to do is write into us and tell us something that Terry gave to you. There's no real rules. We're not judgmental. Anything at all is fine. And then we'll message you back and let you know that you are in the running. At the end of this month, we're going to announce the winner.
And we're really enjoying the ones that have come in so far. So, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's been really cool to see other people's perspective on what the books mean to them or what Terry means to them. And it's really cool. I'm glad we're doing this because of that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I think it's time that we get back into this monster of a chapter.
Yes.
Richard and Verna ended up being up all night. The damage that was done was proof enough of Sisters of the Dark, and the palace is just going insane. As happens when big important places are attacked. Just saying. The guards and the sisters are all looking for Elisha and his teachers, because we're assuming that all of his teachers were the bad ones.
Well, especially if they're missing.
Well, yeah, they're missing, and we know for a fact that some of them were.
Yes.
So, yeah, obviously, where's the people that disappeared right after this tragedy?
Yeah.
Maybe we should talk to them.
Yeah, the rest of us are here. Everybody else came running. They are mysteriously nowhere to be found.
Right. Richard had also filled Warren in on everything that was going on. And Warren's always kind of a little nervous guy. I mean, he's gotten more accustomed to the outside, calmed him down some, but I feel like Warren would be really, really hoppity if you told him something like this.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So the two of them had gone back to Nathan's room after everything the night before, and in the morning Nathan comes in, they end up waking up, and they ask him how the prelate is doing. She's resting, but she's not out of the woods yet. She still might not pull out of this.
Not great. Well, she was crushed.
Yeah.
That was all you did. I was going to say, that was a test. I was going to see if you were going to laugh.
I don't know what it was.
That was great. For 2 seconds, I was like, wow, she's really not gonna. Huh.
I mean, I don't know why. It's like, you crush great. I don't know. Never mind. We don't need to examine it. So Richard thanks him, and Nathan tells him that he's asking him to heal his jailer. Like, do you understand what you just did to me? And Richard's like, hey, Anne's probably gonna appreciate it, right? Yeah. And maybe she'll let you go because of it. Maybe she'll be like, hey, that was really cool. I'll let you escape now.
I mean, maybe. You would hope.
Yeah.
But I think that means something coming from Richard, because he has a capacity to be able to forgive people.
Oh, yeah.
As long as they're deserving of forgiveness, and, by turning the blade white, he can prove that that's what's going on. Even though we know now it doesn't require so much effort from him, but that's essentially where that power is coming from.
Yeah.
From within him. So I thought it was funny that he tells Nathan something like this. Like, I mean, it can work beyond just this here.
Yeah.
Do your part, keep her alive, and maybe she will owe you a favor.
Yeah. Richard also says that if she doesn't, it's cool. I'll just come back later and I'll figure it out.
It'll be fine.
We'll get you out, man.
So he tells Nathan that he is leaving and he needs his help. Obviously, you want to get the wizard prophet on your side. Like, that makes perfect sense. You throw fireballs, you see the future, you can help me navigate the Matrix.
Yeah. Well, if anyone's gonna know or have any type of power about it, it's gonna be Nathan anyway. So.
Yeah, it is kind of ironic, though, because Nathan has been locked up in his room for a long time, so he might not know the layout very well of the palace.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's gotten out a few times, too,
Yeah.
so he'd probably explore and then remember shit like that.
Well, Nathan jokes about how if he does help him, he might go destroy the world. And Richard's like, "Hey, were you sent to stop me in prophecy? Did it say that in there somewhere? No, cool."
Yeah, we're not going to worry about that. That's fine.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny that he was like, "Oh, did you read that somewhere that you were supposed to stop me? Okay, then just fucking help me, thanks." Yeah. Because then he asks Nathan how to get through the barrier since his collar stops him. Like, that's what I need your help with right fucking now. So, just do it.
Yeah, and it's funny because Nathan is like, why do you think I would know how to do that?
How would I know?
Hey, look, I have one too. Don't you think that if I could have taken it off, I would have by now?
Yeah.
Because, newsflash, I would have by now.
Yeah. But Richard gets pissed at him for acting all coy about it because he's like, this is no time for games. I know you've been through the barrier around because you've gotten out, remember? You've gone with Anne to the old world. Yeah,
you've done it before.
It's funny because he's not assuming. I would have assumed that Anne would have taken the Radahana off of him when they went somewhere. But I guess that doesn't really make sense because she's his prisoner and he would have been able to get away if he didn't have the Radahana on.
Yeah, that would kind of be like a cop taking off the handcuffs to transport a prisoner. Probably not a good idea.
Yeah, I guess not.
Especially if she's worried about him getting out into the world because he's just fucking dangerous.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Yeah. So it makes sense that Richard assumes
there's got to be a way.
He had it with. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And Nathan finally does relent. He's like, yeah. And it's like super duper easy. Verna can do it for you. She just has to like shield you for a second. It's fine.
It's weird that Verna had never mentioned that before. She couldn't get the collar off, and then she tells Richard, you have to get out of here, and doesn't mention the fact that, hey, I can actually help you get out of here. We just have to go to the barrier together.
I'm assuming maybe she didn't know this, but I think if she had put enough thought into it, she may have been able to figure that out. Like, okay, if I shield your Radahan, then it can't sense your Radahan, so we'll be fine. But she maybe has just never put enough thought into how to go about the problem of getting a Radahan through the barrier.
Oh, okay.
Like,
well, she's never had to take anybody through.
Right. And maybe she just doesn't have that type of brain that like can make those type of connections. Yeah. So she wasn't like, oh shit, I can use my powers in that way.
Yeah. I mean, we know she did try, so I think if it had occurred to her, she would have volunteered.
Yeah. Richard then asks about how they're going to get back through the Valley of the Lost, and Nathan's like, neither you or Verna can go through the Valley of the Lost because you're going to call the spells. Like, we knew. Like, this is a problem. And Richard's like, well, how the fuck did you do it? You went through 3 times. And Nathan's like, no, I didn't.
Allegedly.
We actually used a fucking ship.
Yep.
We went the long way around, and we were pirates, and it was awesome.
Can I come? I've never been on a boat. The guy from year 1 that cracked me up the second. It never occurred to me, really. Before this, I mean, it was earlier in the book, but Richard's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And Vernus is like, that's a 3-mast ship. That's pretty common. Like, he's never seen the ocean. He has no idea how far out you can go. And so that thought never occurred to him.
Yeah.
Let's go around.
Well, and that just, I guess we have to pull up the map again. I believe that it's just like rocky on that side of the New World.
I think it was, yeah.
So he just maybe nobody has interest in going over there and messing with the water because they're like, whatever, it's
no point
there, yeah.
It's just yeah.
So Richard says, we don't have enough fucking time to go get on a ship and sail for weeks. Winter solstice is 1 week away, and Verna is like, hey, it's gonna take us almost that long just to get to the Valley of the Lost. Like, you literally have no time to do what you want to do. Just so we're all here in reality, real quick, no matter how fast we go, you're not going where you want to go by winter solstice.
Right. There's this thing called physics.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of going to prevent you from doing that, bud. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, obviously, that's not good enough for Richard. He's like, hey, I might not know a lot about my gift or like anything at all, whichever. But I am the motherfucking seeker. Capital S, big period. Nothing is going to stop me. I promised Kaylin that I would go to the underworld and punch the keeper in the face if I have to, and I'm going to keep that promise. Literally, he's looking all of these people in the eye and saying, if it means we die to try, then we die.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. You can feel his, I mean this and I have to do this. It's almost desperation.
Yeah.
But he's committing everybody else to it, too. Like, no, this is happening one way or another. And when somebody like Richard says that, you listen.
Yeah. I mean, you can see where his priorities are. He's like, yeah, there's a problem with this veil and all this shit.
Yeah.
I see that's a problem. I'm going to hope that that's going to hold because I have to take care of this first. And I know that all of you are telling me there's no point and I shouldn't and it's a bad idea, but don't care.
But to everybody else, the keeper getting through the veil is the worst thing.
Yeah.
Not Kaylin. But to Richard, Kaylin is the number one problem.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to solve that one first. Then we'll deal with this whole end of the world shit.
Yeah.
Because without Kaylin, the world really doesn't... I'm not saying it doesn't mean a lot to Richard, but, like, it's not going to be as good.
It seems like that's his be-all, end-all at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, definitely.
And to be fair, what is the point? Like, it's just the same thing as if he is stuck at the palace here for another 400 years, 300 years, or whatever. What's the point?
Yeah, if she's not there, then he's not in a hurry. That's for sure.
If he's not there, Zed's not there, all of it's not there. You're getting out to go serve other people? Like, oh, yay.
So Nathan warns him that the prophecy has to take place or the keeper will have the world, and Richard tells him it's just a meaningless riddle. Look, I hate riddles. You know this. They know this. Everybody knows this. Stop pestering me with this prophecy shit because I'm just going to do what I'm going to do anyway.
I do kind of admire that he wants it to not be the case so much so that he is discounting all of the crazy things that prophecy from thousands of years ago has called out so fucking specifically. Like, he's seen this written in the book. Warren has told him, like, it's a whole thing, but he's so willing to have that all be discounted just because he wants to be able to save Kaylin so badly that he's like, no, it's just a riddle. It's just a stupid thing written in a book.
It is weird because, like, you have this magic sword. You've used magic. All of this crazy shit is actually happening in your real life. It's there. It's real. So whether or not you like prophecy really has nothing to do with your situation because, dude, you are living it. You're a superhero, right? And you are fighting bad guys. This is some prophecy level shit. It is about you. It's real.
Yeah.
Accept it.
Yeah.
With your own two eyes and your smart ass brain. Like, he has to know.
But the girl.
All right. Well, you got me there. The girl. Nathan also reminds him that if he misuses the Stone of Tears to send a soul to the underworld, he will destroy the balance. Foreshadowing. This was a really weird thing to just drop in the middle here. Obviously, he wants to warn him against a situation that he might come up against. But it just seemed dropped in the middle. Like, I know you're thinking about all this other stuff. By the way, if you do this super specific thing, you're fucked.
Yeah. I think it was just maybe because Richard had mentioned the Keeper right a minute ago, but, like, he was talking about the Keeper specifically, and Nathan goes off about, hey, if you use it to destroy anybody else. So, I don't know. It was a little bit weird placement, but I think it was just trying to get across the message to the reader, like, hey, don't forget, if he fucks with this thing, it's going to be a problem.
You can't use it as a weapon. It's just like the Sword of Truth against Dark and Raw. You have this thing that gives you an awesome advantage, but you